Video walkthrough on Keystone Bullet. We'll start in the back. This corner right here, you do have a spray port, so you can hook up a quick disconnect hose. You have a sprayer on it right there, and you'll have the hose with the unit. To the left of that, get your water heater. Very easy to use. As soon as you guys are ready to use this, you're going to take this plug right here, thread it into that hole, get it started by hand, and then 15/16 is the socket size for that. Tighten it, but don't over tighten it. It is plastic. You don't want to strip the threads on it. And then once that's in, as soon as you hook up water to this, it'll be good to fill up. Little tips and advice for you folks. Recommend draining it after every trip. You don't want water to sit in it. They'll start to get stagnant. And before you pull your plug to drain it, shut off all sources of water. Crack your pressure relief. Water will come out here. That's just fine. Stuff is designed to get a little wet. Once it stops squirting out, snap it closed, then you can take that plug out. If you neglect to do this first, relieve all that pressure, when you go to take that off, there's a lot of pressure in there. It'll go shooting out there. You'll get wet. If it's hot, you'll get a little hot, wet, and you might end up losing the plug. Other than that, I recommend you guys clean in there and then in there 4 times a year or every quarter, just to keep it running, operating smooth for you guys. There we go. Right here, spot to store your sewer hose. You just unscrew this. It'll be like a tube in there. This does not come with a sewer hose. That's going to have to be a separate purchase for you guys. All 4 corners, you have these stabilizer jacks. There'll be a crank that comes with it, or you can use a 3/4 inch socket with an adapter to run it with a drill. Either way, lubricate these often. All your moving parts in the middle, there's like a threaded rod. You want to keep that lubricated as well. So you got your black and your gray right here. Always make sure these valves are closed before you take the cap off, because you might end up with some residue on you, and you don't want that. And then I always recommend dumping your black first. Once that's all the way emptied, then you dump your gray. That'll flush out that hose, so you don't have to carry around the hose when you go to put it in the holder. Short cord inlet. This is your short cord. This does come with the camper. So all you gotta do is it's twist lock. You screw this on if you want to for an extra security. So if someone trips over it, it's not gonna get yanked out or anything like that. And then if you want to see what the end of it looks like, got the end of it right there. It's traditional 30 amp. Let's see if I can't. And then fridge vent. This is just for airflow. That's your exhaust for the fridge on the roof. Just allow it to get airflow. Make sure every once in a while you clean this, and then a couple times a year I'd recommend taking this panel off and cleaning back there. Get your exhaust for your furnace. Again, another thing you want to keep clean and clear from debris. They make screens for these. They don't recommend you running with the screen on. It just restricts airflow. But other than that, you can have the screen on for storage or for travel to keep road debris out of there, or any insects from building nests in there. Got an outdoor shower. If I can get my key for it. You have hot and cold out here. This will be all your water inlets. This one's your city water, so that's where you hook your hose up to. You have one off of city water pressure. This one is where you fill your onboard fresh tank. You just rest your hose in there, turn it on, it'll fill the onboard tank. That's your overflow and your vent. So if you start seeing water squirt out there from around your hose, you're full. Generally, I don't like it to get to that point. So monitor its progress on your monitoring panel as you're filling it. And then to drain it, that's your drain for the fresh tank right there. Definitely recommend draining it in after every trip. Because if you fill it all the way up and you only use half of it, then you let it sit for a while, it's going to get smelly. Pass-through storage with a light on the other side, and we'll show you more when we get to the side. Here, lots of good information. Tire pressure, 65 psi. Go off of that, not what your tires say. You have your VIN on here, your cargo carrying capacity, your gross vehicle weight rating. All that's over here. Got a little docking light up front. Loop 24 RV marine grade battery. It's a brand new battery. You don't have to worry about getting it and then putting a new battery in it right away. In the winter, I recommend taking it completely out, storing it in your garage, your basement, anything warmer than just sitting outside. And if it's going to be a long time between trips, I recommend disconnecting the negative lead off your battery. That's going to keep anything from using it when you're away. Dual 20-pound cylinders rather. With your automatic changeover regulator. So whichever one this is pointing to, it's going to pull from this one first. Once this one's depleted, if this one were to be on, there's a little diaphragm in here that'll open up, switch to pulling from this tank for you. However, this doesn't rotate, indicating it's switched to what tank it's pulling from. So keep that in the back of your mind. And then some people have it up and down like that, thinking it's going to pull from both at the same time. It doesn't work like that way. It's one or the other. Moving along. There's that quick disconnect sprayer hose. There's the manual crank for your stabilizer jacks. Now these are stabilizer jacks. They're not leveling jacks. Don't try to pick up your camper to try to get it level with those jacks. Use your tongue jack to go front to back. Then as you're backing it in, if you want it side to side, you put blocks underneath your tires on the low side to get it good side to side. GFCI protected outlet. All your GFCI outlets are on the same circuit. If one's gonna trip, they'll all trip, and then you reset it on the inside. Got your mini fridge out here. This is only gonna work when you're plugged in. It won't offer propane like your inside fridge will. And you have an outdoor grill. Fold it up. Light it with turn these to light it with a lighter. But before you can light it, you have to take your propane hose and connect it to your quick disconnect fitting there, and then there's the valve to open and close it. And then I always make sure I lock these because you don't want them to swing even just a little bit of movement while this is closed. It might end up dinging the side of it, so make sure that gets locked. Alright, that's pretty much it for the outside. We can mosey our way onto the inside. Alright, we will start up front. So, you got like a Murphy bed here. So to use that, you're going to want to turn this into your bed. So you grab underneath here, lift up. So you could use it as a bed like this if you want to, or unlatch that. Unlatch that. Let this fold down. Like this. And then you unfold your mattress. It's like a tri-fold mattress. And that creates a nice spot to sleep. You got outlet over there, GCI protected outlet. Same as that one over there. And again, if those trip, you reset them in the bathroom. Got a smoke alarm, powered by a 9-volt battery, so if those start giving you the low voltage chirps, it's time for a new battery. Emergency exit window, simple to use. Just like that. If it was an emergency, you would push this all the way out. Once it was all the way out, you'd grab this, pull the screen out, and then jump out the window. Fire extinguisher, and then carbon monoxide alarm. That 9-volt batteries for that as well. Right over here, got lights. Turn your main lights off. This is just these two right here, these three rather. Then that one you turn on and off by, there's a button in the middle. You click it on and off. Controls for your awning, extend and retract, right over there. Your awning is adjustable, so we'll go extend. Just make sure you don't have your door all the way open because the arm is right next to it. You don't want to damage your awning arm. And then for the sake of time, we'll leave it open. We'll continue with our tour. And then these do not stop automatically. You have to visually see. Usually when I see that bare tube and that tag and the flap is pretty much up and down, I know I'm all the way open. If you just kept holding extend, eventually it'll roll up, but it'll roll in with its fabric the wrong way around the tube. They are adjustable, in case you forget how to do it. Pull down to adjust pitch. Boom. That way you can have water run off to the corner, right, and into a little puddle, rather than all the way along the edge if it was raining. Or you need to adjust it because the sun is just rising, you want the sun out of your face. If you are gonna have it pitched because it's raining, watch out for how bad it's raining. If it starts getting really bad, you roll your awning in to keep the wind from tearing it off. And then if you roll it in wet, as soon as you get the chance to, let it dry off. As soon as you get the chance to, rather, open it back up. Let the sun dry it out, and then roll it back in again. Because if you roll it in and it holds that water in there, it's just going to be lots of moisture, and you might grow mold. And then that switch next to this switch, the main light switch, will do your LED lights on your awning. Right below that, you got a radio. You can scan through your channels here. Volume. You have auxiliary, AM, FM, HDMI pass-through. Bluetooth, you look for Fury on your phone, and then you sync it up to that. Got presets here, there too. And then auxiliary right there. Headphone jack. USB port, HDMI pass-through. They didn't wire this up on this one, so this isn't set up to use your HDMI pass-through or anything like that. And then, the nice thing about these radios is you have zones to adjust your zone. You got right here. So you have inside speakers, outside speakers, both.
There's stuff everywhere.
Nice and clearly labeled. And then to turn this off, you push and hold this power button. Turns off. Here, you got stuff to have a TV in there if you want. A little small TV. This might even be thick enough if you have a little mount you can put here. These are just splitters. You just ignore that. That's where you hook your TV up. There's a little button there with a light. If that button is out and that light is on, that means you're on your antenna. If you push it in and the light is off, that means you're going to be using cable. And then you have power for it up there as well. This turns into a bed. It's super simple. Just see how it's hooked to the wall back there? You can unhook it from the wall. Fold this leg up. Actually, it needs to get folded out more. There you go. Then the table will rest on these little bumpers. Then you take your back cushions, lay it on there. It creates a platform you can sleep on. Microwave, just like your standard household microwave. It's only going to work when you're plugged in. Nothing super special about it. Then you do have a fan and a range light. You can do some cooking inside. This works the exact same as your outdoor kitchen. Outdoor stove, turn it to high. Light it with a barbecue lighter, match, cigarette lighter, whatever you guys have handy. Right here, carbon monoxide gas alarm. That's hardwired to the 12-volt system, so there's no batteries you have to worry about changing. That'll go off if there's a propane leak. If that does go off, calmly leave. Shut your propane off. Leave the door open, leave some windows open, let it vent out, then you can come back to investigate. Fridge, simple as all heck. You have on or off, auto, or gas. Auto is going to default to 110 if that's what it's on. If that's what it detects, that's what it's going to use. And then it automatically switches to propane if it senses a loss of 120 power, like the campground were to lose power, someone were to trip over your shore cord and you don't realize it. That'll keep your food from getting spoiled. Let's turn that off for now. And then little tips about these fridges, they do take about 6 to 8 hours to get all the way to operating temperature. So if you have the ability to, plug it in the night before and let it get cold. AC, super simple. If you turn it to the black, oh, you might not be plugged in. That is plugged to an extension, and we're over here. Look at that. Unplugged. There we go. Apologize for that. There you go. If you're on the black, it's just going to be a fan. It's just going to circulate air. If you're on the blue, that's actually going to turn the compressor on the AC itself. Then you have temperature adjustment. So blue is the coldest. Red is not actually heat. You can optional heat. This will turn it to like the warmest the AC will ever get. Very easy. Just as easy as your thermostat for your furnace. You have on or off this little switch right here. Push it over, turns it on. Push it that way, it turns it off. And then you have temperature adjustment right down here. If you have this adjusted too low, it might not turn on due to you have it lower. You have it adjusted lower to the temperature it actually is. Right over here, breaker box. All your breakers for your 120 volt appliances right here. All your fuses for your 12 volts. So you have some 15s and 240s. Definitely recommend carrying some spare fuses with you, just in case something were to happen. You'd have a way to replace a fuse. Bunks, little cubby storages on both bunks, as well as outlets on both, which is nice. And then lights for both too. Bathroom, very easy. Right here, got controls for your water pump, water heater on gas, water heater on electric. You can run both at the same time if you want to. However, if you are going to run electric, make sure you have water in the water heater. If you run electric and there's no water in your water heater, you get about 5 minutes before that heating element is fried. Then you'd use your water pump if you're pulling from your onboard tank. Here you can check battery, how full your onboard fresh tank are, your black and your gray. Like I said, black is your toilet water, your gray is everything else. You do not have a second gray tank. You can see, you can even push it, nothing reads. So they just use this panel for different models, so you don't have a second gray tank. Light switch for in the bathroom. GFCI outlet, this is the outlet you hit reset on. So there's two on the bedroom, the one outside. And there might be that one over there underneath that cabinet. Yep, that's GFCI protected. If that was one of those trip, this is the one you come and reset it at. Shower, very self-explanatory. Hot and cold. If you want it to divert to the shower head, pull up. If not, taking a bath. We have a fan vent here. Clockwise opens, counterclockwise closes. Then you have the switch for the fan right here. I definitely recommend running this when you're taking a shower, especially a hotter shower, because you don't want the condensation and moisture to stick to these walls. And your toilet is super simple. As long as you're pushing this pedal on the side, just going to keep flushing. So you want to kind of hold it for a little bit as you're flushing and then let off. Don't just hit it once thinking it's going to flush. You can even see how that works. Alrighty then. That concludes our virtual tour of your Keystone Bullet. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope it was informative, and I hope you guys really enjoy this unit when you guys use it. Alright, bye.